Alonso here, and I'm in downtown Los Angeles. I'm on the corner of 6th and Flower, and boy, does this intersection bring back memories. This is where I got my first job. My first payroll job that I ever had in LA was selling newspapers right here on this corner for USA Today. And they would put two people on an intersection scattered throughout different parts of downtown LA. They would drop you off from a van after picking you up from school. And this was my corner. Now this was a corner that you had to earn because you sold newspapers in 25 bundles. There were 25 papers in a bundle, and they wanted each kid to sell at least one bundle. But if you was on this corner, you were gonna sell 2 bundles. That was 50 newspapers. And you were either gonna be on this corner that I'm standing or the corner over my shoulder right there. And I worked both these corners. In fact, the corner over my shoulder was my favorite corner because right in front of that building there is a bus stop. And after work, that bus stop would be crowded of people traveling east. The Montebello bus used to pull up right there. A whole bunch of buses pulled up right there. And this is the other corner of 6th and Flower that I would work. And once work let out, this bus stop over here would have at least 20 or 30 people standing there, and I would be able to get off a bunch of newspapers from the people standing right there at this bus stop. And I just worked this corner from everybody coming and going. It don't look too busy right now, but this is rush hour and the bus stop is not too crowded. I might have missed the bus rush, and I had to sell 50 newspapers after school, and they were 25 cents each, and it was really a fun job. Actually, I enjoyed coming down here every day after school and spending about an hour and a half right till about when people got off of work. And what was interesting back then is after everyone got off of work and got on the buses and left, downtown LA became a ghost town. There were no restaurants, there were no bars, there was no nightlife in downtown LA back then. And we're talking about 1983 when I did this job. And I was just walking through here, had a meeting earlier, and when I came through this intersection, I was just like, wow, just brought back all kind of childhood memories. And then actually when I was working for USA Today, I got a job at the Cooper building, which is a few blocks south of here, and that job was to pass out flyers. So what I used to do is I did both jobs at the same time. I used to grab my flyers from the Cooper building and then sell my USA Today newspapers right here. And then what I would also do is I would take some of those Cooper building flyers, throw them inside the newspapers while I was selling them. And both these jobs were paying minimum wage back then. I think minimum wage was like $3, and I'm gonna say $3 and some change, low $3, like $3.05, $3.10. It might have been $3.30 per hour, but I was getting paid double because I was doing 2 jobs at the same time. And that's my experience. 1983, Flower and 5th Street, downtown LA. But I also want to add that the main bus back then was the infamous RTD, the RTD bus. The Rough, Tough, and Dangerous, the Robert T. Davis, but all of the RTD buses are now under the Metropolitan Transportation Authority, MTA. So this was the busiest corner in downtown LA. Now, what's really popping in downtown LA is Figueroa and 7th, where that mall is at, which is going to be south of where I'm standing at right now, about a block south and a block west. But back in 1983, when I was working this corner, that mall did not even exist. There was nothing over there but a bunch of buildings. But this was the most popping corner in the 1980s for pedestrian traffic. And if you was hustling, you would be right here on this corner. It looks pretty busy, but I don't see that pedestrian traffic that used to be here in 1983. But that's all. That's it. 6 and Flower.